Hey girl, you are now tuned into the Allow Yourself Grace podcast, the space where we get real, we get raw, and give ourselves permission to rise anyway. I'm your host, Courtney Kristen, and I'm here to walk with you through the moments that demand change, the seasons that force us to pivot, and the experiences that invite us to shift, not just our mindset, but our entire way of showing up in the world. This space is for anyone learning to release perfection, embrace the process, and find power in the pause. Because growth isn't always pretty, but it's always possible when you allow yourself grace. So take a deep breath, settle in, and let's get into the episode. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Allow Yourself Grace podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Kristen. And if you are new, thank you so much for joining us. And to all of my ladies and gentlemen who have been tuning in weekly, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. So let's be real. A lot of us prayed for the life we're stepping into today. Nobody told us it would feel this uncomfortable though. You know, we pray for growth. We pray for elevation. We pray for better opportunities. But what happens when it actually shows up? It doesn't feel how we expect it. What happens when it shows up and it's hurting? What happens when it shows up and it's getting on our nerves? What happens when it shows up and we feel overwhelmed and we feel like, oh my God, I can't take it? I mean, look, we've all felt all of those feelings before. So today I want to talk about what it really looks like to step into the life you prayed for and why it can feel heavy. It can feel oftentimes confusing and even, oh my God, super, super, super overwhelming at times. Now, it doesn't feel like what you thought, but is it really worth it? Let me say this first, y'all, before we even dive in. What you pray for isn't always going to feel good. Hello? Let's say it louder for the people in the back. What you pray for isn't always going to feel good, especially at the beginning. At the beginning, when you're going through the process, sometimes it shows up as pressure. We start feeling like, oh my God, I don't know how much more I can take. Sometimes it shows up as responsibility. Maybe your list of things to do is starting to get longer and longer and longer. Sometimes it shows up as I got to let go of some people. I got to let go of some habits, some environments that you thought you were comfortable in, that you thought you were going to be in for the rest of your life. Sometimes the pressure and the things that come with what you pray for, it forces you to let go of the things that you've known forever. To be honest with you guys, I've had moments where I thought, wait, this is what I asked for? This is what comes with what I asked for? Are you sure, God? Are you sure? Like, what I asked for didn't seem like it came with this when I wanted it, when I wrote it down on my vision board, when I wrote it down in my journal. Man, I didn't know all of this came with that. Like, do I really want that? Like, the things you ask for and the things you have to go through to get them and the process you have to go through to obtain these things in life, these goals, to achieve these goals and to obtain the things that you want. I mean, sometimes you really have to step back and ask yourself, is this worth it? Is this what I asked for? If so, why does it feel like this? Why does it feel so heavy? Why does it feel so uncomfortable? But look, your girl is here to tell you growth is uncomfortable. New levels require new levels of thinking, a new way of thinking. It's going to require you to shift your mindset. If you notice that everything you start out to do, whether it's go to school, whether it's start a new business, it requires you to shift your mindset. It requires you to get in the most positive space that you've ever been in your life in order to obtain these things. It's going to require you to push through during times where you feel like giving up, times where you feel like, oh my God, I cannot do this. This is too much. But I know that if I stay the same way, I'm going to get the same results that I've always gotten. And so, in order to have the life that I'm praying for, to obtain the things that I'm praying for, and to achieve the goals that I'm praying and asking God for, then I have to shift my thinking. I have to go to a whole new level and a way of thinking. You can feel grateful and overwhelmed at the same time. Like, I want to kill the narrative that you can't be grateful if you're overwhelmed. That's not true. You can be grateful and overwhelmed at the same time. Just because it feels heavy doesn't mean it's not right. Heaviness can mean you're headed in the right direction. That pressure that you feel, it can mean like, oh my God, you're on the right track. And the moment you give up, you're going to miss out on the things that you pray for. And so I want us to change our way of thinking when it comes to pressure, when it comes to being uncomfortable, when it comes to going through a process that may not be the most pleasant. That doesn't mean that it's not for us all the time. It means that oftentimes it means that we're pretty close to getting what we pray for. I'm here to tell you, you have to become the person you can handle. You have to be the person you can handle, and you have to become the person who can handle the pressure. It's going to take you sitting down and making sure that the things that you are praying for, you are willing to go through the process. You are willing to go through the pressure. You are willing to say that whatever comes my way, I'm going to take it on with God at the forefront, and I'm going to follow him, and I'm going to trust him throughout this process, even when it gets uncomfortable, even when I don't know which way I'm going, even when I don't know how I'm going to get there. I know that I'm praying for these things, and I have to endure some things in order to get those things that I prayed for. You pray for this. Now what? This is what you pray for. You pray for more responsibilities. You pray for God to let you walk in your purpose. You pray for God to let you have a life of abundance. Now that it requires you to have a little bit more pressure on you, it requires you to have a little bit more responsibility. Now what? You're going to give up? You're going to result back to the thing that you said you didn't want, the place that you said you didn't want to be in? You're going to go back to that? Or are you willing to get uncomfortable to get what you pray for? Here's the part we don't talk about enough, though. The version of you that you pray for, is it going to always be the version of you that can sustain it? I'm sorry, that can sustain it. It's not going to always be that version. You pray for success. Now you need discipline to keep it. Okay? You pray for it. Now you need the discipline to keep it. You pray for opportunities. Now you need consistency. You need to be consistent. You need to be consistent. You have to keep going. You have to keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it, even when life is happening. You have to keep showing up because opportunities are going to pass you by if you're inconsistent. And that's something y'all know I've been telling y'all for the longest now. Is my biggest struggle is being consistent. So I'm on myself this year about being consistent. When I fall off, I'm going to get back up and get back on. I'm not going to stop because I fell off. I'm going to get back on. I'm going to keep going no matter how hard it is. Being consistent is what's going to get you there. You pray for more. Now you need structure. Now you need a schedule. Now you need a task list. You need a to-do list. You need something that's going to help you stay on track. Like, we all need structure. Your kids need structure. Your family needs structure. You need structure as an individual. So having this idea that I can have a life of non-structure, not be consistent, not be disciplined, and still be able to get the things that I pray for and maintain them is totally obsolete. You have to make this thing personal. You have to make the life that you want and the purpose that you want to walk in, it has to be personal. You can't look at what anybody else has. You can't have imposter syndrome. You can't stop every time it gets hard. You can't carry new blessings with old habits. Make it personal. This thing has to be personal. It's about you. That's why it's easy for me as an individual to cheer other people on, because my blessings are my blessings. Because I'm making it personal. I'm shifting my habits. I'm changing the old thing that held me back. The non-consistency, the not being disciplined, the not having structure. Those are the things I'm willing to change. Those are my old habits in order to get those new blessings that God has for me. So when you pray for things and you get them, you have to also pray for the structure, the discipline, and the consistency to keep them. You can't carry new blessings with old habits. Now, let's talk about identity shift. You have to be willing to shift your whole identity. That means the person that you once knew has to die to this new person you're trying to become. You have to shift it in order to walk in the new. Letting go of the old versions of yourself, letting it go, doing things differently, even when it feels unfamiliar. That's what conquering fear is. Conquering fear is keep going, even when it's unfamiliar, even when it's unknown. Keep going, because fear wants you to stop. Fear wants you to not be consistent. Fear wants you to give up. And fear will take over if you allow it to. Elevation will always require transformation. Be willing to transform. Be willing to be on your knees asking God to make you over, to make you a new person. That is why I love the song. I don't know if you guys listen to gospel music. I'm sure a lot of you do. But Lord, make me over again. I don't want to be the same. When she keeps saying that and she's repeating it and repeating it, it really, really just resonates in my spirit, because Lord, I don't want to be the same person that I was last year. I don't want to be the same person I was 5 years ago. Lord, make me over. And that is part of the surrendering process. When I'm saying, Lord, transform me, make me a new creature, make me somebody I don't recognize, make me somebody that my family no longer recognizes, make me a new person. God will create in you a new creature, but you have to be willing to give it to Him, and you have to be willing to get rid of those old habits. Let's romanticize the outcome. Romanticize the life that you want. I'm seeing that a lot on social media. Like, people are romanticizing being single. They're romanticizing, the little joys of life. And I love that, because we love the idea of the outcome. We love the idea of the outcome. Lord, bless me. Because when I get those blessings, I'm going to be happy. But we don't always respect the process. You got to respect the process. Y'all, when you're going through it, when you're in the fire, it's hard to respect the process, because you're like, oh my God, this fire is hot. This fire is hot. And I don't think I got enough water to put this thing out. Okay? But I know that I want to get on the other side. I want this thing to be cool. I want this thing to be refreshing. And so I know, in order to do that, in order to see that outcome, I got to respect the process. I got to be willing to go through the fire. I got to be willing to get burned. I have to be willing to be cut during this process. But one thing I know about cuts, they heal. One thing I know about bumps and bruises, they heal, they go away. They're only temporary. And so the thing that we're going through, the things that we're experiencing, the process that we're going through, y'all, it's only temporary. We're going to get through the other side. So social media, we get this highlight. we see the wins. It's not oftentimes we see the work. Not many people show the process. Not many people show the transparency of getting to success. Nobody posts the confusion. Nobody posts the doubt, the late nights, the trying to figure it out, the revamping of systems and processes. Nobody shows you the grit, the grind, the sleepless nights, the cries, the prayers. Nobody's showing you that. They don't show you the in-between season where most people quit, when most people give up. That's why every time you see me, every time you tap into my podcast, every time you see me in person, I want you to see that I've elevated. I want you to see that I've kept going, that no matter what season I'm in, I'm going to continue to show up. Okay? This is stretching season. I heard this at the beginning of the year from a friend because she was reminding me of some of my goals and some of my things I said I was going to do. She's always checking in with me about it, and I appreciate that so much because it just reminds me that I need to stretch, that no matter how much I feel like I don't have room anymore for anything else, like, Lord, I can't take no more. No matter how much I feel like that, I need to stretch because there's always room. And stretching is not going to be comfortable. You know how when you're trying to squeeze in some pants, you can't fit and they hurt a little, but you got in there. And by the end of the day, you might have to unbutton them a little bit, but you got in there. And that's kind of how stretching feels. Y'all, this is stretching season. We have to be willing to stretch. We need to be willing to go through, endure that little bit of pain when it feels uncomfortable, because we're trying to get to the things that we prayed for. Building something from scratch is one of the most strenuous things that you can do as an individual, and it takes a special person to do it. So if you're asking God to help you build a foundation to a podcast, maybe to a business, maybe you're restarting your life. If you're asking him to do that for you, be willing to stretch. Be willing to give it all you got. Feeling like you're outgrowing people. That's another thing. That's okay. That's okay. That's part of the process. Keep going. Keep stretching. Keep going. Keep stretching. Not recognizing your own life anymore is part of the process. Step out the frame and look at your life. If you don't recognize it, it probably means, hey, I'm getting what I pray for. I got to keep doing this. Now I got to be consistent. Now I got to be disciplined. Now I got to keep repeating the things that I know I need to do to get to the other side and maintain these blessings. Because once you get what you pray for, don't lose it getting too comfortable. Don't lose it playing around. The process is not punishment, y'all. It's preparation. All of the things that you do to get what you pray for is preparation to maintain it. Preparation to keep it. Preparation to be able to minister and pour into other people. That is why God is taking you through the process, because you never know who you're going to have to help along this journey. You never know what your purpose is going to require of you. What that business that you're launching is going to require of you. What this podcast that you may be wanting to launch is going to require of you. So many of you have reached out to me about starting a podcast, about how do I do it? What do I do? How do you do it? How do you be consistent? How do you continue to show up even when life happens? Those are the things that you're going to have to be willing to stretch in order to maintain. The preparation for these things are going to prep you to maintain it. The being consistent, to holding yourself accountable, all of those things. How to stay grounded while you grow, y'all. I mean, wow. Giving yourself grace, allowing yourself that grace that you need. You don't have to have it all figured out. Y'all, we're human, right? And unfortunately, We want to problem solve and we want to try to figure everything out. We do. We want to have it all planned out. We want to have it all right. We want to have all the resources. We want to have a certain outfit. We want to have all these things in place before we start. And, you know, we don't have to have it all figured out. You can figure it out along the way. Stay consistent. Don't worry about being perfect. Show up anyway, even when it feels off, even when you don't feel comfortable, even when you feel sick, even when you got a sore throat. Show up anyway. Stop making excuses for why you're not showing up. Stop making excuses for why you're not executing. Stop waiting on other people. That's something I had to learn in this season. I'm all about delegating, y'all. I love delegating. But at the end of the day, there's just some things that God wants you to do. He wants you to learn how to do certain things. He wants you to do certain things yourself so that you can help somebody else along the way and so that you can know how to do it, right? I'm seeing it every time during this season of my business, during this season of my life, that I give somebody control over something and I'm like, oh yeah, they got it. I'm comfortable. I'm chilling. It's like God is like, Bob, you could have did that. I wanted you to do it. Why didn't you do it? Learn how to do it. And so I'm being pushed out of my comfort zone, but I'm also learning because this is going to be a part of my journey and a part of my purpose. Because I know by me learning certain things, I'm going to be able to use it later. I'm going to be able to help somebody else do the thing that I tried to give to somebody else to do. And I'm just loving it. I'm loving it because it's pushing me to grow. And in order to grow, we have to get uncomfortable. We have to continue to show up, even when it feels off, even when you feel like, oh my God, I don't know. Just keep going. Check your mindset daily. Mindset daily. Mindset daily. You need to start off with a positive mindset. In every situation, look at the positive. Try, shift. Don't go to the negative. Try to go to the positive. When somebody tells you something negative, point out the positive. What you tell yourself matters in this season. It is crucial that you affirm yourself that you can do it. It's crucial that you pray in this season. It's crucial that you pour into you mentally, you pour into you spiritually, physically. All of these things are important because this is preparation. This is preparation for you to get what you pray for and preparation for you to maintain it. Always remember why you started. Go back to the prayer that you prayed. Go back to the vision that you wrote down. Go back. Remind yourself of the things that you prayed for and ask God to give you the strength and the mindset to maintain it. You're not failing, you're adjusting. Adjust. Never be afraid to adjust. We spend our whole lives adjusting, and that's okay. Don't let anybody make you feel like you should ever be comfortable in the situation that you're in if you're not okay with it. Be willing to stretch. Be willing to give God all you got. He needs to see that you're giving this thing all you got. He needs to be seeing that you are willing to give up some things, that you are willing to sacrifice some things in this season. What are you going to do when you get what you pray for? Are you going to get comfortable? Are you going to get lackadaisical? Are you going to stop being disciplined? Are you going to stop being consistent? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? The ball is in your court. You going to dribble or are you going to sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else play? It's time for you to get in the game. It's time for you to stop getting comfortable once you get what you pray for. Stretch. It's stretching season. It's grind time, y'all. It's grind time. And I'm not saying grind time like you always have to be in a rush. You always have to be in a hustle and bustle. And that's another thing. Stop letting people rush you. Stop rushing yourself. I'm on God's timeline. There's just some things that you got to be on God's timeline. You're on his timeline. Let him do what he do. If you know that you've done everything that you can do, Just continue to be consistent, continue to be disciplined, to continue to have structure, continue to affirm yourself and know that God is going to do what he does. He's always going to do it bigger than anything we can imagine. But you need to be able to maintain the things that he gives you. You need to be able to maintain them. He wants to see, oh, are you going to stop praying once you get this blessing? Are you going to stop depending on me once you get that business? Once you make that $1,000,000, once you have a 6-figure business, are you going to forget about me? Because right now, you asking me for these things, but what are you going to do when you get it? What are you going to do when you get it? Are you going to put your boots on and put your camo on and be willing to continue to fight the battle and continue to seek me first? Are you going to continue to do that? Or are you going to get comfortable and you're going to think you did all this on your own? Or are you going to think, oh, I got this. Oh, I'm good. It's all about me. Or are you going to continue to make it about him? I want to leave you with this. If you pray from it, if you pray for it, don't run from it. Don't run from it. Run into it. Don't run away. Run into it. If you pray for it, don't run from it. Run into it. If you pray for it, don't run from it. Run into it. So my people who quit every time it gets hard, you quit every time it gets uncomfortable. Every time you lose, you get mad, you stop. Every time you don't win, you stop. Every time you don't have the money that you think you should have, you give up. You start something else. You don't see it through. Don't shrink back just because it feels uncomfortable. Don't question it just because it's stretching you. Because a lot of us, we got a lot of questions. We always want to question God. Well, why God? Why I gotta go through this? I mean, I'm tired. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it didn't work out. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Or figure it out with God. Figure it out with him. Keep going. Keep going. Don't give up. Stretch. This version of you and this version of your life requires a new version of you. It's going to require you to stretch, and that's okay. It's okay. You're growing into everything you asked for. So allow yourself grace while you do it. Okay? If this episode spoke to you, I want you to share this with someone who's in stretching season right now. I want you to make sure that you continue to encourage them to keep going, to never give up on the vision that God gave you. Go back to the vision, go back to the basics: structure, discipline, consistency. Structure, discipline, consistency. This season of your life is going to require you to stretch. It's going to require you to do something that you've never done before, and that is get uncomfortable. A lot of us are too comfortable. We want certain things. We're not willing to get uncomfortable to get them. What are you going to do when you get what you pray for? Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode. I love you guys. I want to thank you so much for supporting the Allow Yourself Grace podcast. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time I drop an episode. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. And that concludes today's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's episode. I'm so happy to be back. Guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave me a review and let me know how you enjoyed today's episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Well, guys, that concludes our episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Allow Yourself Grace podcast. For additional information about today's episode, please click the link in the show notes below. To learn more about our Grace Girls community and other resources we have to offer,
head over to www.allowyourselfgrace.com. Until next time, Grace Girls, I love you all. Be blessed and continue to strive for success.